Hello, good nuffers, and happy fucking New Year to you. Hopefully you are rested. Hopefully you had some fun last night, but not too much, you know?
Just a little hungover.
Yeah, just a little bit, you know? If you didn't know, I'm Kyle. I'm the host of this show. Somehow, my appointment, I guess. I love the sound of my own voice.
Self-appointment.
Sure.
We're all hosts of the show. But
Yes.
you idiot.
As always, I'm joined by my sub-hosts, Daryl, Jordan, and Trevor. And this week's episode, the first episode of the new year, is entitled Shame of the Year, or also known as the Good Enough Gaming Awards 2024-25. 24? Yes. So, the 2024 Game Awards have come and gone, and we think they might have forgotten a few things. So, in typical style from your favorite podcast crew, we thought we would once again introduce some new and very important categories, and maybe some nominees for our awards this year, and some winners for the 2024 edition of the prestigious Good Enough Gaming Awards. Put on your finest sweatpants, pour a glass of your most expensive Gatorade, pop a Tylenol, or some Advil if you're protecting your liver, and take in the glory that is our awards presentation for the first day of 2025. Happy New Year's.
Get that Pedialyte popsicle going.
Yes.
Cheers, everybody.
Oh my God. Ginger ale and some electrolytes, folks. Maybe a noon tablet.
Canada Dry, finest ginger ale.
It doesn't even have real ginger in it. Do you know that? You're getting
Shut up. Who cares?
sued because there's no ginger in it.
Really?
It's all
I
sugar.
thought it did.
Fun fact.
Oh, all right.
Or it's not real.
But I really like the no sugar one. This is good.
Sucralose.
Yep.
All right. Okay. So we're derailed already, and it's the first day of 2025. It's fine.
30 somethings talking about a hangover. Yeah, we got ideas.
Topical. Okay, so the whole premise for today, first half today, I think we are going to introduce our very own awards, and obviously provide the winner of those awards. And the second half, we're actually going to look at all the announcements that came from the Game Awards at the end of 2024 and talk about our, like what we're looking forward to coming through, which I am excited for because goddamn.
There's some stuff coming.
There's some
bangers.
Stuff. So to start off with, I think we'll start with Jordan. Jordan, would you like to introduce us to the name of your award, perhaps?
Yeah, it is the and I think Trevor and I laugh at this meme all the time, but it's the same but different, but still same game of the year.
This is the one with the two Spider-Mans pointing at each other. That's what this award is.
Yeah.
If you're looking at the cover for this week's episode, the two Spider-Man.
You?
Do you want me to say what my game is?
I would like you to. Can you tell me
Explain the award?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give us the criteria.
So the criteria is obviously imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. And there's definitely a lot of games in 2024, I feel like, that just replicated a lot of the same gameplay as some of the heavy hitters. And so, yeah, I mean, my game that wins this category, and I've talked about it extensively already, but Dragon Age the Veilguard. It's one of the best 7 out of 10s I've ever played. Daryl and I both got the platinum on that game.
Hey, Daryl. And
played a lot of it.
Daryl's gonna give us a quick story. He had to. I'm gonna tell you about his platinum because we got a very furious message in the group
I
chat.
was mad. I
He
messaged
missed-
Jordan privately first and then put it in the group
Yes,
chat.
you did.
He's so mad.
Daryl
You were
missed
mad.
one trophy based on what was the criteria for it?
It was dialogue based, so everything else in the game gives you like different divergences or like kind of a slightly different experience. But there is one fucking conversation in the game that if you don't do it exactly the way that it's like the game wants you to like progress in it, instead of like being the asshole and just fighting, there's a trophy link behind it. And if you miss it, if you don't do it, it's not like one of the trophies that's like explained or like shown in the description. It's one of the ones you have to get revealed. It's a hidden trophy. And it's like, do this and convince this person to give you her essence without fighting her. And I was like, why? None of the rest of the game follows this at all. Like, the whole point is to play it however you want. Why is this a fucking trophy? Like,
So in the end, Daryl decided the best course of action was to speed run the fucking game again to get that one trophy so he could get the platinum.
and I think I crushed about 40 hours of game content in just under 10.
That was last weekend for Daryl.
Skip.
Skip.
I skipped every piece of dialogue. I skipped every cinematic. I skipped every quest that I didn't need to do that didn't pertain to getting to this particular part.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and I was almost level 30. I just crashed the game.
Laser
This
focused.
This is what we call the Kyle playthrough.
Yeah,
Just give me
I
the
did
end.
call it that.
I just got to see the credits. If I see the end credits, it counts.
Yeah.
It's
They pay
just
me
so
to
funny to
lead,
me.
not to read.
There's so many like little features like that with Dragon Age where it's like there was obviously two teams working on this, and sometimes it's like they forgot to have a fucking meeting.
Yeah,
Like, oh, we just missed the meeting for 3 weeks straight. Don't worry about it, guys. We'll just meet up.
It's fine.
We'll circle
Oh,
back in a
God.
couple of weeks, and you're just like,
Yeah.
you guys kind of missed some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, again, we've talked about it on our deep dive of Dragon Age, but like this is one of those games where it feels like they didn't know what they wanted to be.
Yeah.
You know, they tried to pull inspiration from so many different avenues. And at different times, this game almost would have been better served if it wasn't a Dragon Age game. If they just called it something else, changed some of the characters' names, honestly, like you probably wouldn't have noticed that it was a Dragon Age game.
Yeah.
So
The only person I
Yeah.
noticed that showed up was like, oh, hey, it's Morgan. I was like, she's there.
Mhm.
I was like, I remember that name. And then she was
Yeah.
gone. It's like, okay.
yeah, disappeared.
she comes back at the end.
Okay.
You'll
I
get
gotta
there.
I gotta get
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, that's my winner.
Nice. All right.
Same but different.
Same, but different.
But still
My award this year is I'm Just a Chill Guy award.
Of course
Which-
it is.
Who turned Kevin James into like a fucking cartoon like Arthur character?
Yeah.
Arthur Dog.
Which-
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but this is the best meme of the year. I fucking love it and I use it all the time.
It's so
So-
meta, and I don't think people understand
I know.
the original.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this award, I'm giving it to a game that I've been able to dive into, and it's a chill game to play. It's not like I don't feel sweaty having to play it. I'm not fighting against online keyboard heroes. This is a game I can sit down and
not Dragon
enjoy.
Age.
No. I can sit down and enjoy it, play like little stints here and there, and still feel very rewarded. Okay. And that game is Rogue Waters.
Oh.
You probably should have seen this coming, but Rogue Waters is a turn-based strategy game. You get ship combat and you get like deck combat with other pirates. Obviously pirates selling point, no shit.
That checks out.
But one of the things that's really cool about it is you actually have the ability to cancel moves that you do on the deck. So like if you fuck up and attack the wrong guy or something, you can press a button and kind of like rewind it a bit and do what you actually wanted to do.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
So it's a nice feature, especially like
That's pretty cool.
if you're not totally paying attention.
Kids,
But-
dog.
Yeah.
Wife wants you to pull up some tile in the bathroom, you know?
Yeah,
just a
get some
Tuesday
nails
night.
in there. Yeah.
No, we're on a moratorium.
Just a Tuesday, isn't it?
A Tuesday. Isn't it?
Tuesday.
So this game, highly recommend if you like pirate or like strategy combat kind of stuff. I find it like deeply rewarding. It starts a little slow because it's a roguelike, but once you start getting into it, like it's okay to die a few times before you reach the end. In fact, it's gonna happen. And like more and more of the game and new enemies and new sort of crewmates start to open up as you go through it, which becomes more and more rewarding, and you can play sort of the style that you want.
Cool.
So Rogue Waters, highly recommend. I'm just a chill guy.
Just a chill guy.
Just a chill
That
guy.
game's still on my list to play. It looks cool as shit.
That's a good. That sounds like a good airplane game, Jordan. That's like an ROG
Yeah.
ally.
I
It
honestly,
would go well on the ally.
I play a ton of turn-based tactics games on the Ally. It is like the perfect system for that type of stuff.
All right. Trevor,
Ooh,
can you introduce your award, please?
my award this year is the Peter Pan Award, which I think is out of left field because I don't think any of you guys are like, what the
I don't know where the
Please,
fuck you're going
please
with this.
The game with the
Explain,
most
yeah.
flute in it.
It's the game where I don't want to grow up. This is the Lost Boys Award. I don't want to grow up. So on my list I had here, this year was big for this stuff. So my list of nominees, Super
Oh, he's got
Mario.
nominees.
Yeah, I didn't know how we were doing this. We didn't talk about this much.
No.
We prepare heavily for these episodes.
Heavily.
Heavily.
Guys, this is our third rehearsal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my nominees, I had Super Mario Party Jamboree, Silent Hill 2, Final Fantasy Rebirth, Planet Coaster 2,
Oh.
Lego
Yeah.
Horizon,
Oh,
and Astrobot.
Mm.
I
And
think we know the winner.
clear winner here, Astrobot.
Yes.
Yeah.
If
That makes sense.
you grew up in the 90s, early 2000s, and you've ever played any like Mario platformer type game, you know, Crash Bandicoot, Banjo Kazooie, Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter,
Yeah.
like any of the Spyro, like any of the iconic platformers, this game is going to just get to your heart. Right? Like we nixed this one barely in our game of the year. It won game of the year
won,
somehow.
yeah.
One game of the year.
Yeah.
Wild to me. But I think, like we've said, it delivers what it promises, and it's just so joyful. It's just such a fun game. It doesn't have to be hard. You're not spiking your controller about an Elden Ring boss. You're just having fun. It's just like it is like the epitome of why video games were made. Right? It's just like you just want to have this like joyful fun time.
I think that's what we're missing from video games sometimes lately.
And that's the big thing. I think we've missed that for
Not everything
a
has
couple
to
of years.
be super complicated. We talked
No.
about this. Doesn't have to be complex. Doesn't have to be insanely hard. Doesn't have to be challenging. There's a time and place for those games like Elden Ring and things like that. But not everything has to be like super, super difficult. It's okay to
no.
make something that your players enjoy and love and are like having success with.
And as much as it's like a little, you know, advertisement for all the PlayStation IPs, there's the same thing. If you're 30 and you've played any of these games, they're so funny and they're so good because you're like, oh my God, I found Nathan Drake and I get to go shoot people with like a Nerf gun.
Yeah.
and they're adding more. There's
Yeah, and
like Gex the Gecko that just got added.
No.
They added all this. They added all the
Yes.
Spider-Mans, and they've got
Yes.
like Miles Morales with the Spider Cat in his backpack. And
Oh,
Sick.
that's so
awesome.
good.
So that's what they're doing right now with the time trials. When you complete each of the weekly time trials, which just finished, I think as we're recording this, you get like a set of characters.
That's
so
awesome.
cool.
And so
I
it
think-
can only expand. It's so much fun. Kyle, you have to play this game with your
I
kids.
think this is gonna be my my winter break game.
Oh, it is.
You're gonna
fantastic.
love it.
Great.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
kids are gonna
so
love
much
what-
fun.
Yeah, it's
Don't let them
it's
play the challenge levels though. They won't like that.
Those
Sometimes I
challenge
did not
levels
like
are
that.
hard as fuck. Yeah,
Yeah.
they are really difficult. Yeah.
To be honest, I might play Power Rangers with the kids.
Yes.
They loved
Oh.
they loved they loved Ninja Turtles. So,
I laughed today. So from previous episode, Kyle won a PC. which he, as a super loving member of this podcast, gifted to me.
Also, your brother.
As I went over today, I dropped off Lego Horizon because my wife and I platinumed it as per her request, and we were done. So we were gonna let Kyle play it, and I assumed he was gonna play it with his kids. And I come over and I'm like, "Oh, hey guys, how's it going?" Give Kyle the case, and of course his son is just like, "Oh, what's that?" He's like, "Don't worry, it's just a game for me and mom." I was like, "Wow, you're gonna keep a Lego
Gatekeeping Lego from your son. How dare
the lover
you,
of
Kyle.
Lego." I was like, "Ooh, that was a choice decision, and I respect it because I know why you did that."
Yes.
But I was just like, "Oh."
As someone that has played through a whole ass Lego game with a 6-year-old
That's true.
who's still figuring shit out.
It can be a bit much.
So what you're saying is it's enjoyable for him, but it is very unenjoyable for you.
As a co-op,
Correct.
as a
Also,
member of the co-op team, it can be difficult.
Yes.
He is a fucking Lego fiend.
Yes.
And yeah,
He'll love exploring that game.
God.
That is like, I've played some of the old Lego games. This is far and away the best of the Lego franchise. It's so good. But
the only problem is the PlayStation controller is still just a little bit big for his hands. Like he's got, for a
That's
6-year-old, he's got big mitts,
not PlayStation.
but
controller.
not PlayStation controller.
He needs Switch controls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fair.
And the Switch runs Lego games horribly.
Yeah, especially this one because it's on like
Yes.
Unreal.
Yes.
Like it's an Unreal Engine game. It looks so good. All right.
All right. That was a
Astrobot.
solid side tangent. Astrobot, Peter
Play
Pan
it.
Award.
If you play
I'm
I'm
PlayStation,
going to.
fucking
Goddamn.
play it. It's so good.
I'm gonna play it too.
Daryl, can you round out our Good Enough Gaming Awards of 2024?
Yeah, so my award is the Why Do I Still Like This award. I based this off of our wrapped up series of things that we shared with each other.
Yeah.
So I had the most hours played on PlayStation out of the four of us this year, which
Not
is my
entirely
first time
shocking.
ever beating Jordan.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually,
That is true. Yeah. I was shocked. I was very surprised.
Jordan's
But
wifey
I
up
had
a
the
bit.
fewest games played. So,
Right. You had
Daryl
it
was
was like-
laser focused.
Daryl had less games played than me.
yeah, which
Yeah,
is
but you have ADD and you play stuff for 3 minutes and put it down. Like that's not the best measurement.
That's true.
I have OCD and I can't put anything away until I'm done with it. Like,
Yeah.
so,
Very true.
yeah, for me, it was interesting. I went through and I looked at the hours that I played certain things and I was like, wow. So my nominees are things that I was just hooked playing still. So I had Mortal Kombat 1,
Obviously.
Diablo 4,
Obviously.
Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth.
That's not your
Obviously.
fault. That's the game's
Not
fault.
entirely my fault. But then I also wanted to be like, I replayed Need for Speed Heat. I played Madden 24. And I just was like, why do I still like these? I have other things to play. There's other things on my list. There's definitely things I can move on to play. Why do I still like this game? Why am I still drawn to this game? Why am I still playing this? And I think that's, in a certain regard, it says something about the game itself that I quite enjoyed. But more or less, Need for Speed, I'm just mad hasn't made another one or like released another one telling me that there's something coming that isn't, rounded out with ridiculous story that is no part being involved in the game.
ASAP
I'm
Rocky
down.
has a hard life, Daryl. Come
Yeah,
on.
fuck that.
It's real difficult. Yeah.
All of that was fucking dumb. Yeah. Oh my God, I hated that game.
I've hit a nerve.
Yeah.
Yes.
But why am I still playing Diablo when it's like it still has some problems? And I thought Vessel of Hatred was going to be more and like a little bit better. And the Spiritborn came in and was like super broken, and we didn't even really like keep
Broken
playing our
shit.
characters. And,
No. We haven't
just
touched
stuff like
Diablo in months.
So why was I going back to that? And I just thought, I think maybe I'm holding on to like the feeling I had when I first started playing some of these games.
Glory days.
And so like to kind of meld in with Trevor's. I'm like, I'm having a little bit of nostalgia. I like what I like, and I've kind of stuck with it. But yeah, Mortal Kombat 1, I was talking to Jordan, is like recycling their seasons. So like they're not even making new seasonal content. They've gone back and started like redoing that, and that's unfortunate. So
yeah, that's kind of a bummer.
That's my winner this year is Mortal Kombat 1 of like, why do I still like this? And this isn't an award you want to win. So
I can't tell this is good.
This is not a good award. This is not a good award. This is like finishing last place in your fantasy pool, and like you have to do the terrible dare at the end of the year. So I'm not impressed. I wish I love the game, and there was so much promise and so much hope for it with Invasions, and the fact that they are recycling it is just such a fucking bummer. With like all the new characters being released, and still like trying to release these characters so far apart.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's already in there. Like you've clearly already coded it and have stuff. You're releasing footage. Like just fucking release them all at once. Stop with the nonsense. Yeah. I hate when games do that.
All right. So that wraps up our own individual Good Enough Gaming Awards. If you have any other suggestions for awards that you might want to provide your own feedback for, hit us up on Instagram. I know we would love to hear it, or Discord too. The fireside chat is always popping off with Pokemon cards.
Yeah, and amongst other things,
typically
conspiracy theories.
Awesome. Yeah,
it's a good time.
It's a great time.
Our Discord is entertaining as fuck.
It's good. We are small but mighty.
Yeah,
I enjoy the hell out of it when everybody gets going in the fireside.
I know.
I love the shit out of it. Man. It's funny.
Shout out to Corey and Roxy and Vince and John. God, who else?
Thanks,
Mac.
guys.
What's up? Yeah, we appreciate y'all. Now it's time for the very first treasure trove of 2025.
Sheesh.
Before
You're bringing that back.
I hate you so much.
Yeah.
Oh God!
That's so Sigma.
Jordan,
Yes.
before we get into your treasure trove, could you maybe tell the audience on your PlayStation Wrapped, how many games did you play in 2024 on your PlayStation?
Oh God! Yeah, I was just looking at it. Let me pull it up here.
It was astronomical.
Yeah. So for anybody that's listening to the podcast for the first time, the treasure trove, I have been given the moniker because apparently I play everything, and so I'd like to apparently. So I like to try and find some games that I found that are very very good games, but maybe didn't get the love from social media, didn't have the marketing budget that some of the big AAA guys do, but nonetheless are still very fun and should be played. So Kyle is going to shame me here, but last year in 2024 on my PlayStation alone, I played 132 games.
I don't even know how that's possible.
And I would have guessed most of those are for more than like 5 minutes.
I played 17.
Daryl's about quality over quantity here.
That's
Let
like
me
17.
10%.
Let me preface though that I download every PS Plus game and a lot of the like Game Pass monthly stuff. There are, I would say, probably 20% of that are games that I try, hoping that it's going to become a treasure trove, and they're just trash. So
that 20% is everything I've played all year. Like that's
I know it is. I know. But not all of them are good games. I play less than an hour and then they get deleted and I never think of them again. So
Hey, me too.
Hey, friends. Anyway, back to the treasure trove. So
treasure trove.
this episode, I'm trying to keep shit on theme. So we're talking about our awards of the year for 2024. I figured I'd pull 3 games from my list that I really enjoyed.
I dig it.
2 of which I'm pretty sure I have talked about on previous episodes, but one of them I definitely haven't.
Ooh, fresh one.
Yeah, so we'll start with the fresh one. So it's a game called Undermine, and it's not a new game. I think it's been out for probably 4 or 5 years now. But Undermine is like a top-down kind of retro pixelated game where you play. It's a roguelike experience, kind of like Rogue Legacy, which I know Kyle really enjoyed.
Yep.
Basically, you play as a miner, and when you die, you just get revived as like a new miner, and sometimes they'll have different abilities or different stats. But a lot of the game honestly reminds me of like Enter the Gungeon,
Okay.
similar kind of gameplay to that. You're going level by level, deeper and deeper into the mine. Each floor is going to have a boss fight that you have to get through. You can decide to either go deeper into the mine, or you can like end your run there if you choose. You'll get you can collect gold coins, which you can then buy upgrades in in the store. And then you try and rescue people as you go. So like you'll rescue the blacksmith, you'll rescue a mage that'll give you like different spells and stuff throughout.
Sweet.
But it's got really it's got really funny dialogue. It's really goofy. It doesn't take itself seriously at all. And some of the boss fights are very like Zelda, A Link to the Past.
Oh,
like,
Okay.
nice. Back when Zelda was good.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Shots fired.
But yeah, the game.
You heard us, IGN. You heard us.
Yeah, you know what you did. But yeah, this game is super fun. It's the music is really chill, and it's catchy as fuck too. So if you want to just like turn your brain off and kind of hang out. And they've announced a sequel coming in 2025.
Ooh.
So I'm super pumped because they've added quite a bit to it. So yeah, Undermine, 8.5 out of 10 for me.
Nice.
Under mine, under yours, under everybody's.
Underwear?
Under. So that's my new one for the week, and then the other 2 I'm going to shout out. One recently I talked about, Young Souls. That is probably my treasure trove game of the year for 2024.
Nice.
I love that game. It was so much fun. And then the other one was Jusant, which was like that alien rock climbing game.
Oh yeah.
Phenomenal soundtrack, beautiful art style. If you're ever looking for a game to like mellow out and get high to and just play for a night, like that's the game. That is the game. It is perfect for that. So yeah, if you're looking for something indie that's like under $15 to play, check those 3 out. Those are all really, really good games.
A rock climbing game that you can get high to. That's just so fitting.
Exactly.
Does that up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
does that up?
What we're here for.
When you started describing that first one, all I got in my head was a song by Windrose that's called Diggy Diggy Hole. It's about dwarfs that are digging a hole. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy diggy hole.
Kyle listens to some weird shit.
I listen to weird power metal sometimes.
Pirate
It's so
shanty,
fucking funny.
dwarf metal.
Real tangible evidence of Kyle's affliction.
You're
Here
seeing
it
it
is.
today. Yeah. You're getting
Here
a full
it
dose
is.
of it
We're sending this to
today.
doctors and they don't
My
know what
God.
to do.
Oh, they know. It's
boy.
just
They're taking the
Oh
Hobbit's
my
dies and
God.
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 Nah, there you go. That'll get Kyle going.
Jesus
How dare you,
Murphy.
Trevor? That's going to be in my head all night now.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
The hobbits, the
Suck
hobbits,
it.
the hobbits, the hobbits, 2 eyes and God.
I hate that video so much, by the way.
It's so fucking funny.
I hate it.
Early
so
internet
much.
shit.
Yeah.
There's also like a couple bands that do like covers of that song and like have done covers at like Ren fairs and stuff and are so
my God.
fucking funny.
Oh my
I
lord.
got Kyle started. I'm sorry.
Shoot my
okay.
dick
It's my
off.
fault.
Okay.
I did this.
Before Kyle gets
All
too
right,
far
Daryl,
into
bring
this,
us back, buddy.
before it gets too far into this,
It's
now
in
the
my
Game
head.
Awards. Okay, I have to say this before we get into this part. The Game Awards was more of a release video party than it was like the
Yes.
actual awards ceremony.
There was
Kind of
I think,
replacing
like-
E3.
It is.
Yeah, you know, like
E3,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, they took E3 away from me. I'm just gonna make it E3 anyways. Like that's what I, you know, they were like rapid firing the awards. I was like, what the fuck? This is supposed to be about the awards. This isn't actually about the releases. Like,
We're here to
It's supposed to
advertise,
be-
Daryl.
oh,
Yeah,
I was
we don't give a fuck.
actually very disappointed in that this year. I thought that was a big bummer from them. I was like, yeah, that's not the way to go about this. But anyways, we are going to talk about the things that were released
Oh my God.
at the Game Awards, games that we're very excited to play here in 2025 now that it's officially begun.
Where do we
and
start?
kind of, yeah, you know, if
Holy
we're
Santa
hitting some
Claus
games
tits.
that
There's a
you're
lot of
interested
this.
in and we haven't said, like, let us know. But honestly, like, let's chat about it, boys. Like, what
Yeah.
did we see that we love?
So for a caveat too, we had a bit of a chat embargo on it because Daryl had like commitments
that's
that
right.
night.
We wanted to watch
And-
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we held on to it for a while, which is I'm
We've been
proud.
holding on to this.
I'm proud of us.
I've got
Yeah,
Um,
me too.
I'm proud of us too.
The biggest one that came out,
I got notes.
Elden Ring Night Rain, which is
I
like
would argue that's
buddy.
the biggest one, but that's
oh my,
huge.
I don't know if that's my biggest
It is.
one, but
It is huge.
it's one of the biggest ones.
Especially because they've said that they aren't doing Elden Ring again.
Yeah,
Like,
they say they were
like,
done.
That's
Yeah.
NDA easy answer bullshit to like not answer the question. I understand,
Yeah.
but like when people saw that, I was like, oh shit. But this is roguelike. This is Elden Ring without the story. This is the I just want to beat stuff up.
it's just battle. It's
Yeah,
just fighting.
Yeah,
and
this is like
on
a
it
top of
boss
that,
rush, boss rush mode, basically.
they are bringing back bosses from Dark Souls.
That's
Bloodborne.
Yeah, which I'm
and
into.
whatever.
Yes,
but they're like changed.
I'm
Some of them have
yes.
been twisted as well to like
yes,
yeah.
I fucking love it.
The trailer only showed Dark Souls bosses from other games.
Yeah.
But that's my hope, is that there's some Bloodborne magic.
I heard it was in there. I thought it was.
Sprinkled
I
in.
thought they said it was in there.
If they
100%.
brought
I don't
the
remember them
Bloodborne boss-
confirming, but
Like when they confirm that and they show it, the Bloodborne community once again, as they do every other week, is going to lose their minds that there isn't a 60 FPS Bloodborne remake, Bloodborne 2.
Yeah, probably.
Like they know that they're just like, you know, this is like Valve with like
Yeah,
Half-Life 3 or something.
Yeah,
right? They're
you're
like, we know
fucking
you
with
want
us
it, but
now.
we're just going to just hold on to that.
yeah, you don't get it. You don't get it.
But yeah, honestly, like as hyped as I am for that game, I
Three players.
kind of agree with Trevor and Daryl. I don't know if that's my most excited like thing.
bro, there's
That was
so
That-
many.
That one almost hit like, as we all loved Elden Ring here. That to me almost hits that like, we had such a success. Can we do an easy follow-up to just cash in?
Mhm.
Like, and
It did kind of seem like that. Although I saw memes that were like, "Is everyone freaking out that they have to third year of competing with From Software?"
Like, give us a couple
Not
of years
again.
break.
For real.
Give us a break.
No, like,
Yeah.
But
I don't
We'll
know if
see.
I believe the cash grab thing though, because like does FromSoft really need money? Like they're not hurting
No.
for cash. Every
No.
game that they've ever released has been a banger. So it's like,
Yeah,
you know,
I just
if you're
wonder,
ever going
yeah,
to give
if that
is
benefit
it-
of the doubt.
why is it 3? Why is the max?
I know. It's
three?
1 or 3.
Why is it always?
No.
It's 1 or
3?
3, not 2. You can't play 2-player. You can play
I
1
think
player
that's
or 3
beta
player.
only, though.
that's
Yeah,
going to get
It's a
sorted.
beta thing.
That's a
Mm.
They'll
we want to
change
set
that.
the minimum and the maximum, and then we will find the halfway point for enemies. That's all that is.
Mhm.
Yeah, they'll figure that out. They'll change that for sure.
A couple like short notables. One like ones that we don't want to need to talk a lot about, but I just want to mention. It Takes Two, the dev that made It Takes Two made a new co-op game called Split Fiction.
I'm
into it, man. Yeah.
My wife and I started playing It Takes Two the other night. It was so fucking fun. Yeah. And I mean, I did I send you guys clips of like the they didn't work. I'll try and send them again. I have a clip of, you know, like the little like mole, like whack-a-mole game. Did you play that one? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Her like laughing her ass off because she can't fucking hit me and just like slamming the hammer like over and over again, just trying to crush me. It's therapeutic, right? Right.
Yeah.
So I think that one is going to be super cool.
I like that. I think It Takes Two was a good branch away from a lot of the other like Overcooked and moving out of like these very straightforward but obviously frustrating on purpose games.
Yeah.
To a little bit more of like a co-op RPG, but not like, hey, we're just playing like Diablo split screen, right? You're still solving the puzzles together.
Mm-hmm.
And this seemed to take that and like really run with it. Like the way it started, I was like, oh God, I don't know where this game's going. And then they really kind of like hashed it out really quickly. I was like, I'm here. And I immediately showed it to my wife. She's like, we're buying that fucking game. Like
the cool thing is every level is a different genre. You've got a sci-fi level, and then the next level is a fantasy like RPG level. And they're gonna just flip flop between the two.
Flip back and forth.
They took the classic,
that's so cool.
You know, Astrobot Super Mario tactic of like, let's just make each area its own like biome and let's make it super cool. And I'm excited.
Daryl doesn't know it yet, but he's going to be my date for that game. And Yeah. Yes. We're going to play that co-op.
Team building.
I think it's going to be fun as shit. I'm looking forward to that game.
Yeah. Another small, announcement that came during the Game Awards that released immediately was a Helldivers 2 update, which pushed like the Illuminate. Which has
been very well received so far. I believe
people like apparently like eliminated them in like 3 days already.
Oh my
They've got to go back to fixing how the servers and the enemies work because people went like, oh yeah, we're back onto democracy, and they just like crushed it.
Democracy wasn't done being spread.
Democracy lives.
Yeah, and apparently there's like really cool sound design stuff with that too.
Yeah, they fixed, and I heard
the sound design is super cool. Yeah.
So Helldivers 2 update, super dope. Any big ones for you guys? Tell me your big ones, because apparently, oh my God,
I am confused.
Yeah, that actually looks sick.
I'm confused but curious, because once again, Turok kind of looks like a 3-player multiplayer the way they showed it.
Yeah.
And it kind of looks like a survival horror roguelike. I don't. The way they leave for more details, it felt very multiplayer, and I was like, I'm kind of concerned. I want it to be more of a story game. Yeah. Personally, based on
like a Horizon.
Well, yeah, like original Turok, right?
Not even like that. It's just giving you the original style Turok.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the.
Like, I have an objective. I'm going to do the thing. We're going to go to the next thing. So I'm curious. I also don't like that they're like very space agey. Like they're like, we're in like modern tech. It's like, no, I want like the dude in the Stone Age.
Give me the Turok.
Give me that commando guy.
Yeah.
Killing dinosaurs
with a spear.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, the fact that it's in third person too gets me a little bit nervous.
I don't mind that because I don't like first person. So
yeah, that's true. You don't, but like, yeah, the original games were all first person, so I just feel like it should have stayed that way personally. But
they'll have to do something unique, because it will now in this new generation, it's going to get compared to Horizon so hard.
Yeah,
right. Everyone's gonna be like, dinosaurs. This is like Horizon. I'm like, oh, you stop.
Yeah.
This was before.
You don't even know.
You don't even know.
Back in the early 2000s.
Oh, great game.
I played the shit out of that on N64. Yeah. Like, I played a lot of that game. Put all the cheats on. I had all the God mode, all the weapons. I always played.
I rented it a few times. It was a good time.
Yeah. I think for what Trevor maybe was converted. Borderlands 4.
I'm back on the hype train.
I've seen a lot of comments about what they're going to avoid and what they're going to lean into. I am cautiously, but kind of 1 foot on the train. Like I am running alongside the train right now, about to jump on.
I'm back in.
Yeah. Yeah. The darker, kind of grittier tone of it, the environments that they showed, albeit briefly, in the trailer looked gorgeous. This pixelated, like this cell shaded art style that Borderlands is known for. It kind of feels like Borderlands 4. This is like the pinnacle of that art style. Like the game just looks clean, polished. The movement mechanics look improved. Your character's got like a grapple cable.
Yes.
So you can use that through the environment, and it looks like you can kind of combine it with shooting, like while you're in the air and stuff. And so
Ooh.
This is where I get like the Call of Duty when we had like the Future Warfare, when you get like
Advanced
wall running,
Warfare.
advanced, yeah, and like wall running and like jetpacks and shit. I'm like, this is where it belongs.
Yes.
yeah.
Right? Like, give me that stuff. Give me the the grapple with the mantle, low gravity. I just hope they fix some of the story stuff. Like that was the big problem with the last one, is the story sucked.
Yeah, the villains in 3 were awful.
And then just like the visual diarrhea seizure salad that was on the screen half the time was just, it was just too much
going on.
So I'm hoping they kind of resolve that a little bit while keeping things goofy, fun, kind of Borderlands. Yeah.
Explosions.
Bring back
Torque needs to come back. Yeah.
Bring back Torque. Leave Tina alone. Leave whatever the other younger, whoever was in 3, the younger siren girl in 3. Go away. We don't need a teen finding yourself novel in the background. Just
The one thing I need to see more of is like the starting classes, like who you'll play as. Because for me in Borderlands 3, Flak was the only good character. Flak and Zane, I think, were both good, but like Flak I enjoyed, and the other ones I didn't really enjoy playing with all that much. So like to me, this is like a decent game versus a home run based on how the character classes are.
Yeah.
Which now that they've revealed them, hopefully we see some more like actual announcements of like
details.
This is the class, this is what they do.
Yeah. What are the powers? What do they start with? Yeah. Need to know some of that.
Before we talk about like one of the big ones, how fucking cool is it that Onimusha is coming back?
Oh, dude. Sweet. Yeah.
Oh, I remember playing the shit out of those games.
Those are like OG Dark Souls type games.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like before that was,
I think
even
that was like
genre.
the surprise of the show. Like that was the big surprise of the show, was that was coming back, because I had no idea that was coming back.
I can still picture the Onimusha 3 box art for PlayStation 2. I can still picture that box art in my head. Like as soon as I saw the title screen pop up, that was the fucking box art in my brain. Yeah, I'm pumped for that. I'm so excited for that franchise to come back.
I had some other notables. Like I know Jordan and I are super excited for Crimson Desert.
Yo, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I'm kind of
the more I see that game, the more I'm like, man, this could be my next obsession. Like this could be the game that.
Uh-oh.
Time sink, like time sink, man.
Because that's the one we talked
riding
about.
a dragon, and I was like, oh fuck. I was like, uh-oh.
Because that's the one we've talked about. That's essentially like it's very open world. It gives you a lot of options. Like that is if Zelda, Breath of the Wild was on a system that could do things.
Yeah. That looked half decent.
It's a bit more for adults.
It's like The Witcher, Dragon's Dogma, Assassin's Creed, Zelda, all fucking wrapped up with a nice little dragon riding bone on top. Like that's.
Yeah, I was just like, oh god. Oh no.
Thank God, Daryl.
Here's my money.
Yeah.
Daryl, if you want to, if you need a fix in the meantime, Daryl, there is a DLC and you can ride dragons in Skyrim if you really want. I know how much you guys love that game.
fucking Skyrim.
No.
Yeah, no,
It's been re-released
I am
several
excited for
times.
that.
Not sure if you're
Don't
aware.
say, you don't say.
The other one that I think Daryl mentioned that he was excited for too. I'm gonna kind of jump in on that. Is Dispatch.
Hell yeah, that game looks awesome. Aaron Paul is like voicing like on that one. That's like the collection of superheroes that are like kind of work for an agency, or they just get sent out, and if they're like not good enough, they end up working at the office. So you work on the dispatch.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So like the character you play as is a superhero that sucks and no longer has their suit. And so they are a dispatcher at this agency.
This makes me think of like The Boys, but like
Yeah,
exactly.
Kind of. Yeah.
It has that vibe very much so. And I was like, this looks awesome. It's kind of like that kind of cartoony kind of aspect, almost Invincible looking like cartoon aspect to it.
like an Americanized anime style.
Yeah. 100%.
It's supposed to play like the Walking Dead, like the Telltale games. It's made by like the ex Telltale guys. So it'll be a narrative driven, make hard choices with a time limit type thing.
But it looks like you have to actually choose who goes where and like to these calls. Like you decide the hero that goes there. Like you have to.
Oh, there's a lot of cool choices that you can make then. That's like really cool story stuff. It's like a horror game.
So I know. I was like, I'm into it. I could definitely see myself enjoying that. Every once in a while, it's okay to play one of those Telltale games, like Jordan was saying. Like,
yeah.
I don't mind playing one of those once in a while.
The one I think that's going to scratch the itch for Daryl, and we talked about this because we were very curious about it. Screamer.
Okay, that's like my number one. Like, I need to know more. I need to know more about this game because I was honestly that whole show I was anticipating them like showing something for the next Need for Speed. I actually thought
so
EA was. I thought something was going to come. I had heard rumors that something was going to be happening there for that, and I was like, "Oh, please, please, please!" And then that game showed up, and I was like, "Okay, you have my attention." What is this?
Because it definitely
it's an old game. It's like almost a 30-year-old franchise that was.
Yeah, I didn't realize how long it's been around for. Yeah.
Holy shit! Really?
Yeah, and it's like it's making a comeback. So this was a game that it like has been out before. The sort of the claim to fame car in the first one was the Lamborghini Countach. So it's
okay.
Yeah.
So is it like a drift? Is it meant to be like a drift centric racing game, or is it just a racing game but has an anime? But even just like the old games, like is it just an anime stylized? It's more like
old to tell.
It's too old for like. I guess you could. You're basically in the era of California cruising. Like it's not really like you can't really compare it. I think what's coming now is going to be significantly different from the original game.
I gotcha. Okay,
but where the car, like similar to Need for Speed Unbound, the cars look very realistic and polished and clean and have like the right shadowing and light texturing crossing them. But all of the people driving it and every other part of it is animated. It's just anime, like.
Yeah, like Japanese anime style. Yeah.
Well, like it's very similar to like Underground, right? Where you had like these still kind of comic book esque moments to do the cutscenes instead of getting like fully animated or motion captured. They're kind of doing these like cartoon still cutscenes because they were like, well, it's a racing game, right? You don't need that.
Yeah.
So I'm with Daryl and so on. I'm cautiously optimistic, but I really want to know more about that game.
I want to see more. I need to see more.
The cars look super customized and they look super cool. And I was like, this better be like a
give me my fanfare Underground that everyone's been asking for. The Need for Speed and EA won't make.
Anybody make it, you'll make so much money.
100%. I was like, so if somebody else is doing it, sign me the fuck up. I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
Please be good. Please be good.
It's just the art style that throws me off. So I agree. I'm cautiously optimistic. I need to see more, but we're not getting the racing games from the big guys that we've been asking for. So
I'm just getting Sims. I want more arcade,
more fun, arcade RPG mixed in.
Yeah. An RPG racer. Is that what we call them now?
Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't need a ton of story. Just tell me why I'm running from the cops.
Exactly.
Like,
Easy.
Just make a reason for why the cops exist
Easy
and why they're
peasy.
chasing me.
Yeah. Okay. I'll you got a
Jordan,
game, Kyle?
Oh, I'm trying
Or
to.
are you ready for
Kyle's
sleepy
trying
night?
to wind down here.
I'm trying to
get
wind
out of here,
down here.
Kyle. We
We'll
got
be
more
here
to
all
talk
night.
about. All right, I'll rapid fire these two. The first one I know Daryl was excited about when we first saw it, I think last year. The first Berserker Kazan.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait to play that.
That game looks incredible. It's like a graphic novel Souls type game. Like it looks brutal as hell. It's based on the first Berserker anime. I think it's an anime.
Yep.
I
Can't wait to play that game.
Yeah. Looks so good. The art style is amazing and it's gory and fucking brutal. And I'm here for it. Next one is, I think I'll probably be the only one that's excited for this, but Dying Light, the Beast. I love the Dying Light games. And this.
Not for me.
Yeah, this seems like finally we get a really big like graphical overhaul. Like the game looks gorgeous, and it's in a different location. It's got cities, it's got swamps. They're finally making the nighttime scary again. Like you're gonna be fucking nervous to go out at the night. Whereas Dying Light 2. It wasn't a big issue going out at night anymore. So I'm glad that they brought that back. So yeah, both of those. Fucking pumped for that.
I'm surprised Kyle didn't notice the other one, but or maybe Trevor did. I'm not sure. But like I was intrigued by Celesta too. It kind of looks like the next, kind of like Baldur's Gate-y, like D&D style. You have to roll. It has the D&D trope kind of situation going on there and gameplay look. I am very interested in that game. I think that's something I'm going to check into.
I think I missed that one.
Yeah.
And then the other one that I was like, oh, you know what? Like it could be kind of fun to screw around on. I don't think I'll be buying this day one, but I'd be interested to see how it does and how it pans out. I could see us kind of like playing around with it just for fun. Was Steel Hunters, like the one where you kind of look like you're like a transformer type, like mech and whatever. Like that game looks kind of fun. Yeah. And I am not usually one to play a game like that, but that did look pretty sweet.
Yeah, I seen a bunch of ads for that last year, but I thought it was a mobile game, so I was happy to see that it's actually a console game.
Not great advertising.
It did look really cool. And then. I'm surprised Kyle didn't look into this one, but the Ninja Gaiden side scroller game that's made by the Blasphemous devs.
I mean, I brought it up. I wasn't like a huge fan of Blasphemous. It's just like it was okay, but it was weird.
It's weird, like how many side scrollers are coming out now?
I know. It's just it's one of those things where there's just too much on the market, and that's It's like, let's move that to the next thing, which is awesome 3D platformers. Bring those back.
More Astro Bot, please.
If we're on this nostalgia train, can we just take like 5 steps forward and just go to that part? Because
so I have 2 big ones that we've been skipping that I've kind of been like saving to last.
Okay.
The first is a new IP from Naughty Dog.
Jordan and I had some conversations about
We
this.
had some thoughts.
Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet.
Yeah.
Sci-fi. I don't have too many details on it, but Naughty Dog does good work.
They showed a glimpse of third-person action at the very, very end.
Yeah.
The rest of it, I was trying to figure out if they were trying to do like an Outer Worlds, like weird futuristic thing. There was so much product placement in this trailer alone.
Right. There was a lot of bitching about that.
I was trying to figure out if that was meant to be part of the story. Like it's a Sony game, so I get it. They put a bunch of Sony bullshit into it.
Yeah.
So it's like, is this part of the universe that like everything's branded and whatnot? I like that it was like motion captured with like real actors, which was cool.
Yeah.
but it felt like I was just like, this is Guardians of the Galaxy, like to a T. It's like, I've got my Sony CD player instead of my Walkman. And like, obviously there's going to be people on the internet screaming about a lady with a shaved head.
A shaved head female?
This is not the problem here. Naughty Dog does great stuff, but it was just the way they introduced this. I was so concerned that this felt like a sellout game.
Oh,
I was like, are we just selling screen time to different companies? Like, or is this actually like a story point? You know, having your fucking tail emblemed Porsche Starship. Is that required? Yeah. Like, is that to set it into like our Earth versus a fictional universe? Or
does corporations own everything in that universe? And
but if that's the actual like graphic fidelity of that game for the cutscenes,
damn.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
Yeah. So same thing. This falls under the Wukong, the Concords, and every other game that shows you this super shiny thing.
Yeah.
I'm very concerned that the gameplay is going to suck butts. Because they're too focused on just the story and just the graphics versus the actual way the game plays.
Yeah.
But I have to have faith. It's Naughty Dog. Like Jordan said, he's like, I don't think I've seen like a terrible Naughty Dog game. So it's like, you got a point.
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah, like say what you will about them remastering The Last of Us 19 times on 4 different consoles, like that. Yes, that is an issue. But the core games themselves that this developer makes, they are good. But I'm with Trevor. Like at times in this trailer, it felt like a shareholders game. It's like, let's put in
too
all
much
the
corporate interest.
Just let's put in all the ideas that our shareholders wanted, and
whether they're good or not.
Let's see if we can make it into a good game. And so I like kind of the 80s synthwave music vibe. I enjoy that kind of stuff. I grew up watching like The Last Starfighter from the 80s.
Yes.
Love that movie. I get some vibes of that in this. But to Trevor's point, we need a Sony State of Play. Like, give me a 10 to 15 minute gameplay deep dive, because I am not sold on it until I see how it plays.
I need to know more. That it didn't explain enough. You got this weird Nick Fury lady with an eye patch.
Yeah.
There's just a couple things, and it just felt so. And maybe that's the theme, right? We're going full 80s. We're going full Hasselhoff with this, but I need more.
Show me more.
Yeah. What I don't need more for, though.
No.
Fucking Witcher 4.
Witcher 4.
Take my money.
Siri as the Witcher. Oh my god!
Whatever it is, 10 seconds into that, I'm watching this with my wife, who is like knows the Witcher but doesn't know like the lore of Witcher. And as soon as they pan to the back, I was like, "This is the fucking Witcher." And she's like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "She's got a silver sword and a steel sword on her back, and this is the fucking Witcher." And I was losing my shit.
Everything about that trailer I loved from start to finish. It is perfect. I love that Ciri is going to kind of take the mantle. She's now the front facing Witcher of the story. That was kind of hinted at in The Witcher 3. They have confirmed that Geralt is still in the game. Like, he's still part of the story. So if this is like a Batman Beyond, like we've got an old Bruce Wayne and Terry McGinnis type thing, like I'm into that. Sign me up.
This did look really good. The trailer they played, I was like, wow, this looks phenomenal.
The characters look great. Like, I think the big thing too is like we've talked about, like adding complexity to games can be done good or bad. In The Witcher 3, when you get to play as Ciri and you get these extra little powers that Geralt doesn't have, those are the things that make this game like new and interesting versus just another Geralt Witcher.
Yeah,
can't complain. Geralt Witcher is fantastic, but
but this is cool. This is a good like branch off of it that sort of leads the way forwards.
And same thing. You get this like sweet like crone spider monster in the fort. Like, so many factors, and then everyone wants to kill the girl anyways. Like there's so many things in this trailer that just screamed like great CD Projekt Red writing.
Did you hear that, Daryl? You killed the girl in the forest.
Bad things happen anyway. Sounds about right.
Yeah, the one thing
when I was right, damn it.
This is Daryl's D&D gripe from probably several years ago for everyone to be aware.
I was the only one that was right.
It was so fucking funny.
The one thing that this trailer kind of like gave me some excitement for is the Witcher games have never really like done a lot of dialogue heavy stuff where you make this decision and it kind of like ripples. It had some of that in The Witcher 3, but I hope they kind of go even further with it in this one. Gameplay wise, I mean, I enjoyed The Witcher 3 a lot. So if it plays like that, honestly, I don't need much more from like a gameplay perspective.
No, just a lot of new story and new things to do, but it doesn't need to be anything above that.
Let's go.
Nope.
So excited.
Guys, 2025 is going to be a banger.
Be a good year.
If these games release on time,
there's lots to look forward to.
If these games release this year, like on time,
we got some good episodes coming up.
It's a big year. It's we've had some poopy lull years here.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be sweet.
Desert. I am playing so many hours.
Yeah, that looks like that's going to be my new vice in life is Crimson Desert.
You know what we didn't mention though? Path of Exile 2.
It's like half out already. It's kind of confusing.
Yeah, it's early access right now. They gave a whole ass roadmap for it. Trevor and I have played a bit already. I'm sold.
I'm invested.
And we'll come back with a whole ass episode on that once it fully releases and Daryl and Jordan hop into.
Yeah, I'll play it when the 1.0 comes out.
Yeah.
I don't pay
That's
for
fair.
early access. I don't believe in it. So
I don't either, and I don't like betas.
I couldn't help myself.
Daryl's more of an alpha guy.
That's right.
hey,
Alpha male.
Let it be known.
Hey, Daryl's got that skibbity riz, okay?
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Never say that ever again.
It hurt my soul. It hurt my soul. I'm sorry.
I hate it. Bruh.
All right. So from all of us to you, Happy New Year. We hope you have an amazing 2025. I think that was good enough.
Good enough. New
Yeah,
Year.
it's good enough.
Good enough.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at GEG Podcast. Check out our website, goodenoughgaming.com, and write us an email about anything from our episodes or something you would like us to discuss in the future. You can also now join us on Discord on the Good Enough Gaming Discord server. We really appreciate you listening and hope you continue to join us on this epic adventure of discussing all things gaming and nerdy. Please subscribe to the Good Enough Gaming Podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever else you listen to your podcasts, and rate us 5 stars so we can find more good enoughers in the process. Just remember, we might not be great, but we are good enough.